Good afternoon and welcome back to Life at Charlie's Rainbow Ranch. Today, Charlie and I are getting started on making a grilled stuffed pepper casserole. Isn't that right, baby? To start with, we're going to take the garlic press. We're going to smash these 3 little cloves into the pan. We're going to use some hamburger. We're going to chop up an onion. Going to make sure Charlie's away for that. Don't want her crying. Once those 3 ingredients are cooking and the onion becomes transparent, then we're going to add... Once we're done chopping up the onion, then we'll go ahead and add 2 peppers. Bell variety, any kind. You can do red, yellow, green, whatever. From there, cook it down about 5 to 7 minutes until the peppers become soft. From there, we will add 1 can of diced tomatoes and then a can of tomato sauce. And we'll start to let the sauce thicken. With the sauce, we will also add our beef broth. And then we will add black pepper, salt, some cheese, and last but not least, some rice. For appropriate amounts, check the recipe down in the description, and we'll get started. I like to go a little bit liberal on the seasoning, which there's also Italian seasoning. Says about I believe a tablespoon. I like to go a little heavy on it to add some extra bam. And then we've also got soy sauce. So we'll go ahead and get Charlie's cocoa melon back on and we'll get started here. While we're going along here for a vegetarian take on the recipe, you can substitute either black beans, mushrooms, pretty much anything you want for the hamburger. So if eating meat's not your thing, there are alternatives to this, so should be able to be enjoyed by anyone. Okay, once we got the 3 cloves done, go ahead and use our garlic press and press these things into the pan. Nice. Ooh, this is gonna be so good. All right, so I'll finish squeezing the extra garlic out here. Try to save as much as we can, or use as much as we can. Any remnants will go into the compost bin. Okay, so from here we'll use our little fancy tool, poke it through the holes, get the rest of the garlic out of the press. Don't want to waste anything if we can help it. Okay. Now that we're quite certain no vampires will be anywhere near us, let's move towards the protein. Here's where you would want to substitute your mushrooms or your black beans or really anything, or you could just skip it, but we're using an 80-20 blend. Not my favorite hamburger, but we'll make do. Moving on to the onion, probably skip this part, don't want you guys to see me cry. Alright, we're back for the peppers. Just chop them in half, that's what I usually do. And pull out your extra pieces. Usually take out some of the top. It's got a lot of seeds in it, so we'll just Pull that guy out. All this going in the compost pile. Start our garden off next year pretty nice. And same thing with this. We're gonna chop these down to very tiny diced pieces. From here, we'll go ahead and add our peppers. The onions are not quite as transparent as we'd like them to be yet, but that's okay. Just cook this a little bit longer before we add any of the rest of it. Once the meat and the onion and pepper and garlic are all cooked to your liking, we'll go ahead and add 2 cups of beef broth to the mix. We will also add our diced tomatoes and our tomato sauce. We will also add a half a teaspoon of salt and 1/4 a teaspoon of pepper. We will also want to add a tablespoon of soy sauce. And then we'll leave the heat around medium to medium high, mix everything together, and once it starts to boiling, we'll move on to the next step. Now that we're at a rolling boil, we will go ahead and add our rice. And then we're going to cover it and cook it for 25 minutes. Then we're on to the final steps. And once it's been 25 minutes, or until the rice is tender, or once the rice is tender, go ahead and stir it one more time. Nice, this looks even better than last time. Turn it down to low. And here's where the recipe deviates from being a pretty healthy recipe to one that's just awesome. The recipe calls for 1.5 cups, but we're just going to go ahead and add the whole bag of cheese. Stir it all up. Once we've got everything all stirred in, we have one final step: quality control. All right, we have got our quality control department. We're going to see how she reviews it. So far, the outlook is not good. She's trying it. Not sure. Maybe. She's warming up to it. How is it? She kind of liked it. Doesn't seem to be her favorite though. Anyways, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Life at Charlie's Rainbow Ranch. We hope you guys enjoyed checking out the kitchen portion of it. If you try any variations of this recipe and find it better than the original or better than what I've done here, please let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time. Bye.